Ay, no sé, como que es como que más difícil. I don't know. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about. So what do you think? Are you an animal abuser?
No,
No. What makes you think you're not? You don't abuse animals?
I don't. I haven't really had anything to do with an animal for like a really long time. I don't work with animals. Um, Last job I had was working at a casino.
Hmm.
No animals.
So, uh, so if you know that animals are being abused, would you not care, or would you help the animal that's in harm?
Uh, why I advocate against animal abuse, and
Yeah.
I would
How do you?
definitely
Hmm.
like if
Yeah,
someone's
like how?
talking if someone's talking about like a case of animal abuse publicly, um, or if somebody's talking about a behavior, abusive behavior towards animals. I openly speak out about this, like in my personal life, away from Discord all the time. I always do this.
Yeah, that's
Always
great.
have.
That's awesome. What kind of thing do you advocate for? Like, what do you usually say to someone that is talking about animal abuse, or what's your? How do you defend?
Well, it's really easy. I mean, like I think that, like for instance, if it's like a pet, then it's a person's responsibility to treat the animal properly. If they want to take this animal, then they're going to have to be prepared monetarily, mentally, to be able to provide for this animal and its needs, or else they should just leave it in the wild.
Mm,
And when it comes to cases of animal abuse, um, it definitely depends on the case. But like, say, if there's like dogs being abused, then like it's like a somebody talking about beating their dog, for instance. I would say, well, you shouldn't beat your animal because like uh, like there's other ways of like if there's a bad behavior, there's a way of kind of making the animal understand without actually beating it. Like it's pointless, you know. Especially if the
so
person's
why?
just yeah.
Yeah. So what? So if I asked you, why is animal abuse like wrong? Like, why do people defend animal abuse and want
Who
animals to
defends animal
be,
abuse?
yeah,
Who
yeah,
defends
like
animals?
defend the
Who
animal,
does that?
not, yeah, like, um, yeah, why is animal abuse wrong? Is my question.
Because animals are they're living beings and they deserve to be respected. All life deserves to definitely be respected, and it's beautiful and it's definitely something that is special, and it's disgusting because as soon as you start to abuse animals, then you start to go down the road of like, being okay with like these big factory farms, and you start to encourage poaching. You start to encourage like the kind of behaviors that destroyed all the buffalo in like North America, things like this. Like you start to have like mass destruction of like animal species, or destruction of their habitats, for instance. Like it's really, really bad. You can't do that. It's bad for people as much as it is bad for animals
Yeah.
in many
So
ways.
what do you think? Yeah. So yeah, you mentioned like factory farms. Like, what do you think about people who eat animals and animal products? Like, would you, do you think that's abuse, or that's okay? That's not harming an animal.
Well, people certainly need to become a lot more aware of what they're eating and who is producing this animal meat. Because, for instance, like there's lots of alternatives. Because, for instance, if you are eating meat that is of an animal that's being abused, it's not going to be as good quality meat as an animal that has been treated properly. The animal that's been
Do,
treated properly will be of healthy.
do you think there's a way to eat animals in a way that there isn't abuse when we're killing them when they don't want to die?
No, there's no way to possibly totally eliminate abuse when we're talking
Hmm.
about people eating animals. But we'll never be able to stop people from completely eating animals, and it would also be like in terms of Native Americans, like that's how they live, that's their life, and I don't think that would be right to Native Americans because like in America, like that's their land, and we can't tell them how to live their life. You know, that's the way they've been living for thousands of years, and I think that would be wrong. But in terms of like animal abuse, like we can definitely do something to kind of like reduce the kind of disgusting behavior that goes on in these fucking slaughter factories and these disgusting torture chambers where these animals are kept. But like in terms of completely eliminating all animal abuse, I think that might be impossible.
Yeah, so you mentioned other people. So what about you? Talk to me about you. What, so if you said that we cannot eat animals in a way that we don't abuse animals, like we don't kill them, like do you eat animals?
What did you say? Could you re-say that one? I couldn't understand what you said.
So animals are abused to eat animals. We have to abuse them. We have to take their life away from them. We have to take it against their will. They don't consent to being killed, to being murdered, and they don't want to die for us to eat them when we have other things to eat. You said earlier that we do have alternatives and we can eat something else. And
I said we
do you
have the
eat?
ability. I said we have
Yeah,
the
we have the
ability
ability
to.
to eat something else. And
I
when
said
we
we.
have
I
the
said.
ability,
I said we have the ability to eat animals in a way that is not incredibly, abusive to animals, and in a way that
how
is
would that
not.
look? How
Well, I
would that
mean,
look?
like,
Can you describe it?
well, the thing is like we could like, I mean, like, do you think that it's a good thing or not a good thing to be able to reduce the amount of abuse that animals take in these factories? Don't you think that's a win? Or would you prefer to just
Um,
let animals be abused?
can you explain like an example of how
Like, let's
that
say,
would look?
like, if we start to, for instance, start to continue to do the kinds of like, I'm definitely an animal rights advocate, and so like I will aware people of like very routinely. I will aware people of the abuses of animals that they face in these kinds of mass scale kind of operations, which is disgusting, and it's
Let me interrupt you for a
yep,
little bit.
no problem. Yep,
Um, Let me ask you like a question that I
yep,
don't think you didn't answer.
yep.
Do you so you don't eat animals or
I do eat animals for sure. Yeah, but animals eat
so
other
so
eat,
let
eat other
answer
animals.
me but then answer me this. So you said you were an animal rights advocate. How does that
Yes.
that doesn't make sense. Like make that
Well,
make sense because
well,
I
hold on a
don't
second. Hold
understand.
on a second. Because no, because I still do help
How do you
animals.
advocate for
Mm,
animal rights when you're the oppressor yourself? An
well, I'm not
animal,
trying. Mm,
a person who advocates for the rights of someone else
yeah.
cannot be the victim's own oppressor.
Well, hold on a second
Do
here,
you
because hold on a second, because I'm an animal. And other animals do
exactly?
eat other animals. So you're suggesting, like, by your logic, we should go out into the wild and we should stop all predators from abusing all animals. Because I'm an animal, but so is a cougar, so is a lion. They're animals too, and they abuse other animals. So by your logic, we would have to stop those predators from abusing animals as well. Fully achieve your vision here.
Yeah, but when you say you advocate for animal rights, you're taking the animal's rights to live when you eat them. Like, what are you advocating for their
I'm ad,
rights when
I'm
you are taking
advocating
the animal's right yourself?
other animals do this, and I'm an animal.
The difference is animals in nature. do things that we would never do, like ever. Like we cannot look at nature, the animals that are free, and just say that, oh, okay, I guess if an animal does that, it's okay for a human animal. If a non-human animal rapes another, like a lion, animals like lions rape other lions, and lions eat their babies. Is it okay to eat our human babies because lions do that?
Well, lions eat their babies. Lions eat their babies. You mean talking about like the male lions? Female
I
lions,
mean,
I don't think they eat babies too often. Maybe they might in like a severe situation of hunger, but like humans do that too.
that would be, I don't know the answer to that, but it's irrelevant to the point that I'm
Male
trying to
lions
make.
do kill other lions' babies. Absolutely.
So is it
It's
okay
routinely
for
happens.
if it's a male lion,
Hmm.
they do that, but then for the human context, just because we are a male human, we are the only ones that can do it, and not like it. We shouldn't really look to nature to say what is right for humans to do. Like we shouldn't dictate. Um, Animals do a lot of things that, like I said again, animals do a lot of things in nature that humans would never do
Like
in
what?
our own nature.
I
It's not
mean,
our own nature.
I think
Animals
humans do
rate
worse. I think humans do
not,
worse things than animals do, to be honest.
yeah, but is it okay? Is it a good thing? Like
But
we shouldn't be doing that thing.
you're
Like
saying
if
that
we know better,
right? I'm telling you that
right? If we know
humans do worse things to other humans than animals do to animals. Like human animals do worse things
exactly
to
that, that's
wild
the thing.
animals than wild animals do to other wild animals. Like that, like non-human wild animals. Like I mean, it's like you're saying that we can't do stuff that non-human animals do to other non-human animals, but they're actually like if we followed their example, we'd probably be better people. Like honest, because we're doing way worse stuff to each other than wild animals.
Honestly, I'm not sure because animals have no other, like they don't have any option. They eat whoever they see because they're trying to survive. But
What
then we
about
are
poor
not in a
people?
survival situation.
Poor
I'm
people
not
are.
I'm talk I'm t- I mean, I'm not trying to say change those people. I'm not trying to change people in, I don't know, in Antarctica or whoever, like people that cannot, that's their only way of. But I'm talking to you.
Well, hold on a second here. I mean, I'm poor as well. I'm basically on the lowest. Uh, I'm like under the poverty line here in Canada. I got to tell you, like it's very expensive to live in Canada. It's a capitalist nation. If you don't have much money, like you're in big trouble. Um, I have to sustain myself. I have to be able to
Yeah,
nutritiously feed myself for a cheap
you
amount of
can just
money.
buy plants. You can just eat plants.
I mean, my sister
It's,
was a vegan for quite a while, and she encountered health problems where it forced her to have to eat chicken.
do you think, I think you got it wrong because vegan is not a diet. She only did a diet for her own selfish reason, but vegan is not a diet. Being vegan is about animals
Oh, that's why
not
she was a
having their
vegan.
rights taken away, not violating the rights of
Exactly.
animals.
She said she didn't want to eat anything with eyes.
Yeah, but it's more than just who we stop eating and drinking and stealing their life from. It's more than what we eat. It's more than that. It's we don't wear animals. We don't eat them. We don't ride them. We don't visit their captivity. We don't enslave them. We just let them be. We just protect them. If animals are in harm, if we can rescue them, we should have the right to rescue. Um, and we should
Sure.
have the right to save an animal that is in a factory farm that's about to have their throat slit just because someone wants to eat a chicken thigh or whatever part of the animal.
It's valid.
It's
It's
not cool
valid.
that animals get to have their throat slit and suffer all this amount just for a human to eat a little bit of
Well,
flesh of a corpse.
well, I don't know. Like, well, definitely coming into these factory farms and and freeing animals is always a good thing to do because, I mean, quite frankly, these places shouldn't even exist anyway. So you
Do,
definitely
do you
have my
think,
support there.
but yeah, what was that?
You have my support, my full support. Anybody has my support who goes into these places and frees animals in these kinds of disgusting places because they are terrible and they should be completely ended. So you're
Hmm.
right. Agreed.
Wouldn't you think that if you eat animals, those people that are saving these animals are saving them from you because you're the one that's paying to have these animals killed. So people who rescue animals are actually rescuing them for you. Wouldn't you think
Well,
that?
well, the
Because
people
you're
who
gonna pay
rescue
for it.
people who rescue animals, what they're doing is they're making a statement, and it's like it's a powerful statement because I mean they could get arrested for it, they could
Yeah, it's
even
a
get
statement
harmed.
for animal rights.
It is absolutely, and that's very important. But I don't think it's necessarily trying to. I don't think most of the people who are going to be doing that are going to be doing it because they're saying like we have to save all animals from any form of harm. Like that's I don't think that's really the valid reason. The valid reason is to kind of raise awareness for animal rights and for the abuses, the very belligerent abuses of animal rights, especially with these factory farms.
So
I'm an
what
animal
can you
I'm an animal rights advocate, same as you, but like I'm not exactly um, as extreme as you are, but I still think it's an incredibly valid thing.
do you think what's more extreme? Let me ask you this. What's more
Yeah.
extreme? Getting a throat slit or speaking up so a victim doesn't get their throat slit? Like I'm the one who's speaking up, so a victim doesn't get their throat slit just because someone else thinks it's okay to eat them. But you say that you're not extreme because you let that happen. You actually pay for it, and you as an supposedly an animal rights advocate, and you say you're the same as me and another animal rights activist, I'd
I'm not
say.
the same as you, that's for sure. I mean, like you are
Yeah,
taking a very
difference
hard
is
line
you
approach
pay
on
for
this.
animal abuse. You pay for animal abuse. I don't.
That's
And you're
that's right. Yep.
so if you're against animal abuse, how do you justify being for it and paying for it and being the victim's oppressor?
Because people have to
It's
eat.
wouldn't you
People
say
do have to eat, you know.
we don't have to eat animals, do we?
I disagree with that. I mean, I'm not going to stop eating fish.
What do
No,
we
no
need
one's
from
going to.
animals that we cannot get somewhere else?
I I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just inherently that's not the fact or the truth. Like you definitely
But
have
can you
to
say
have
something? Can you
like
answer what we need from animals?
there's amino acids that like
So
the supply.
you're changing
Let me
instead
talk.
of saying
Let me
protein, you
talk.
said amino acids. Like protein? You're saying
Not letting
basically
me talk.
protein. Yeah, yeah, talk. Yeah.
Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and the thing is that the amount of, say, amino acids or the amount of nutrients that are contained in, say, beef liver, like forms of liver, fish roe, it's going to be very difficult to be able to get that same amount in that kind of same package, that kind of that small amount, like this small liver, the amount of nutrients and stuff that you're going to get in that for that price too. Liver is very cheap, you have to remember. That's an extremely high source, like a very very good source of food. Um, and so is the tissue that's adjoined to that. I'm not suggesting anybody just go out there and only eat liver. Definitely not. But I think that it's like it's hard to say that you're going to be able to get even with like beef, like you're going to get like very high levels of creatine, and to supplement that with kind of a vegan lifestyle is very expensive as well. Like not everybody's. I don't have the money for that.
What would you say is more expensive? Losing your life or buying something else that's not animal derived? Like
Like I
that's
said, like we're all
losing.
animals.
What do you
You know,
think is more expensive, life or death? I'd say it's
Mm.
more expensive to lose your life, to die because someone else wants to eat you, and it's you can just buy plants, you can just eat plants, and when you
I
say
can't
you
just eat
can get
plants.
protein, all plants have protein.
Not the
All
same type
plants
of.
have.
have the
and
same
then
amount
you
of
can eat.
amino
You can
acids
just
from it.
eat a lot of food. Yeah, it's like you say, you get a lot of protein in like just a simple like a piece
Beef,
of you said like beef liver, like cow liver, I'd say,
or
because
even just beef
but
fat
then you
too.
can just eat a lot of other plants and make up all the protein. I would say that's better because if you're against animal abuse, you would try every way to not contribute to animal abuse, not eat them. Just let them be because they want to live just like you and me. Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you think animal animals deserve to live if we can eat something else?
I have like IBS, I've got GERD, I've got a lot of digestive issues that makes it so eating like a ton of vegetables just is not viable. I mean, it's not something that I could do. This is
It's not
ultimately
only
just
vegetables, like legumes, seeds, nuts. Like there's a lot of foods that you can eat. Like you can have a specific diet because since I said vegan is not a diet, you can have a specific diet that goes with your needs, I guess, and still
it,
be a vegan diet. But like since it's not a diet, not all vegans have the same diet. Some vegans probably eat more, let's say, legumes than vegetables, but some others eat more vegetables than legumes, or they mix a lot of foods. They make it a different diet, but it's all plant-based diet.
absolutely, but I mean, like I said, like this is a very expensive source of food. Like to eat specifically just plant-based foods is very, very pricey. Like I don't have the money for that. If this became more readily available, like if there was some way to kind of like that's definitely something we could talk about. Like let's say like advocating for reducing the cost of these vegetables to make it so that people can eat a vegan diet and have it be viable so that they don't harm animals. That would be something to talk about. At the moment, it's just inherently very expensive, and I couldn't afford it. I couldn't actually afford that.
Um, so I think I'll redirect you to my friend. I think he'll say a few points. Hopefully he can like make you think a little different.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going? You hear me?
Yep.
So, what do you mean that plant-based diets are more expensive?
And then we have. Look, I have tried to, for instance.